Before we get into the meat of today's video subject, I'd like to take the opportunity to show my game channel where on Friday I did a game stream of Vermintide 2 and it was a clusterfuck of errors. It is quite amusing. Second, Dear Prophet Cthulhu, after I did a video response to you, you did an 18-minute incoherent, spurging out stream directed towards myself, Suit Yourself, Irate Bear and anyone else you disagreed with, all the while claiming I used an appeal to popularity fallacy while doing the same thing unironically in the comments to the very stream in question, which you then summarily deleted when you realised you lost the argument, not the stream, the comments. If you don't have the balls to say things properly, articulate your thoughts adequately so that I can understand what you're trying to say, why not just stop? It's embarrassing. I was considering a response video, but then I realised I don't give a fuck about you anymore. I stopped caring about what you thought quite a while ago. You are a very special spurg, and I ask you to stop because you're looking even more ridiculous as time goes by. Now, the subject of today's video is going to be about the recent error that happened with Snapchat. I saw this on Twitter and it was also dumped on my server. It was dumped on my server by Magnus Deacon, channel link below, tweeted out by The Hill. Snapchat map mislabeled New York City as Jewtropolis. Well, I'm sure if I go to Twitter now and type Jewtropolis, many people are going to be offended by this. Let's have a look. Us Jews seeing this. I'm assuming that's meant to mean US Jews. Wow, this is bad and a bit scary, but also seriously, you had Jew York right there and went with mediocre wordplay like Jewtropolis instead? If New York City is Jewtropolis, there's definitely a Gotham City somewhere in the south. So if Jewtropolis is hate speech, then Koreatown and Chinatown is also hate speech? I've added the question mark because I think it might actually be better suited as a question. Those are my favourite ones anyway. Now I don't know why this happened, but I do want to point out something rather interesting. In the city of New York, the population sits at around about 8.5 million, possibly more since this is from the 2016 census. 1.1 million as of 2014 are Jews that live in the 5 boroughs, 52% of which live in Brooklyn. So now we know where they're hiding, in New Israel, Brooklyn. I thought I'd just put this information out there because a lot of people don't realise New York has quite a large Jewish population. So, Snap, the company behind Snapchat, apologised on Thursday after its map featured mislabeled New York City as Jewtropolis. Snap said that the incident was due to vandalism of data from OpenStreetMap, a service that allows users to edit and submit information to build its maps. That's right, you blame someone else, don't take responsibility for it. By the way, this one is as bad as Hymietown, which was used by Democratic presidential nominee Jesse Jackson in 1988. I assume though Jesse Jackson wasn't accused of racism though because of that whole black thing.
Kiss it. Huh? Apologize. Kiss it. You want me to kiss your... That's right, apologize. Okay, I'll, see here, apologize.
I just gotta say, Hymietown, I get the Hyme bit, but you're in New York City. There is a vast difference between what is a town and what is a city. And New York City, it's a city. Could you not have maybe gone with Jew York? That would actually be a lot funnier. Well, would have. Anyway, Snap Map, similar to other apps, relies on third-party mapping data from OpenStreetMap, which unfortunately has been vandalized. This defacement is deeply offensive and entirely contrary to our values, and we want to apologize to any members of our community who saw it. While it is offensive, debatably, although a number of people just thought it was hilarious, I only have social media as evidence for that, so naturally we can disregard it. It does show though that a number of Jews that are on Twitter, as quite a number are on Twitter, do have a funny bone. You can't apologise and blame a third party at the same time. Simply saying sorry is enough. That's it. You don't have to explain it, because then your apology loses its weight. And I say this having watched a number of people on this platform make apology videos, but then spend 50 plus minutes in this quotes video explaining every minor facet. We don't need that. People don't need that for an apology. You can mention your values, you can mention how the defacement is offensive, and you can say sorry. But blaming OpenStreetMap, which, yes, they certainly are to blame, devalues your apology. Although I'm sure some are itching for you to now sever ties with OpenStreetMap. According to BuzzFeed News, OpenStreetMap's site, so BuzzFeed News, totally accurate, maybe they are in this instance, you never know, was not showing the name Drauka for New York on Thursday morning, while a demo map from Mapbox was. Mapbox partners with companies like Snap to provide local data platforms according to its website. Ooh, this tale just gets even more convoluted, doesn't it? It's almost like the blame is being shifted a little. This morning the label of New York City on our maps was vandalized. Within an hour our team had deleted and removed that information. The malicious edit was made by a source that attempted several other hateful edits. Our security team has confirmed no additional attempts were successful. Fantastic, you've sorted out your security, but isn't this just one of the massive failings of having your clientele, customers, audience contribute towards something? Certainly on a scale like this, it would be like allowing locals to use the Google Street View cars that do all that mapping, because you know damn well they're just going to spend the entire time running up and down a street, mooning at the camera from every possible angle. Mapbox added it was considering changes to prevent similar vandalism in the future. The vast majority of changes made to our data set are helpful changes made by people mapping their neighborhoods. Yay, community. Adding data to support humanitarian crises, or adding detail to their favorite bike path. Some of these editors have nefarious intentions though. Does this mean you need to screen your editors better? Maybe a criminal background check, or asking for a quick perusal of their, is that a word, perusal? Perusing of their Twitter threads. Our community has systems set up to review edits and protect the map from harmful edits. In this particular case, the harmful edit was fixed within 2 hours by our community. But 2 hours is basically infinity on the internet, because now it exists forever. It is probably one of the weakest anti-Semitic names. They could have gone for something far better, like stated in the earlier tweets. Now, because I want to add a little more to this article, we are going to go to a BBC article that talks about this as well, where it says it added that the malicious edit, which is obviously the Drauka comment, was made by an unnamed source that attempted, as we know, several other hateful edits. The firm explained that its AI system flags more than 7,000 map changes a day, which are sent for human review, and it was a human error in the manual part of the review process that led to the incident that took place. So somebody actually saw Drauka and did such a bang-up job of their job that they managed to approve it. Wow. Just wow. Congratulations. I'm going to take a wild guess and assume you have now been disciplined for this human error. Now there are screenshots, which I don't have, that show other apps that had been affected, because other apps use this similar map technology, or outsource their mapping to a third party, which has this contribution-based nonsense. I get why it exists, so I'm not going to judge it too much. This one's just there. It's happened. It's hilarious, and also, wow. Now to finish this video I want to put a question out there, and I've put it actually as a poll on Twitter, which I will link below, where I was thinking about doing more videos on BitChute, not moving this channel over there, but doing shorter, maybe up to 5 minutes long videos where I just talk about something that's on my mind, and put it exclusively on BitChute. If you think this is a good idea, or not, go to the linked below Twitter poll and cast your vote, or leave a comment below if you feel like you really have to let me know, because I do read it. I know I don't reply to comments as much these days, but real life work makes it very hard to. I do read everything. I feel very guilty when I say that. I don't reply as much as I used to. Anyway, I hope everyone has a lovely Sunday, where I shall mostly be stripping walls of wallpaper, having spent yesterday painting a ceiling and looking like I had been in the centre of a bukkake, now stripping wallpaper. And thank you all for listening.
Oh, goddams.
In your ass.
Imagine my shock